Alright, hello everybody, my name is Bill Hoy, back again with another video. I'm bhoy333 on Minds and BitChute. On YouTube, I'm What in the World is Going On 1. That's What in the World is Going On question mark and number 1. I'm going to be bringing you a video right here. I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to do just a little bit of history, and then I'm just going to go right to today. It's a lot of information to cover. So without further ado, I'm going to go into it. So everything we've been told by the mainstream media is a lie. Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. I mean, at best, a lot of times you get half truths, or a lot of times even in with like a show like Tucker Carlson, say, for example, I don't watch any of the mainstream media, but sometimes Tucker Carlson does mention some truths, but then of course he cloaks it in the whole idea of human-made laws and also the whole dialectic of the left-right divide. But really, other than him, all of the mainstream media is like all out, like blatant, unbelievable lies, like unimaginable lies, like total all out straight up lies. And these people these paid liars are just sick. So let me just get into it. In America, where I'm from as well, once again, I'm reading from my papers that I write, that I make up on Microsoft. In America, where I am from, as well as the entire industrialized world, all of our cultural institutions have sold us citizens lies for so long. Now we're at the end of the proverbial road. We Americans have been living in a nightmare for over 100 years. I could go back in history to the advent of the Industrial Revolution, where people from other countries began migrating en masse to America to escape persecution to find a better life. The sacrifices those individuals made resulted in better lives for most of their descendants for a time. Unfortunately, the negative side of the Industrial Revolution far outweighs the positives. It was the beginning of the end of this wonderful planet we live on. So I'm going to start 100 years, but I'm just going back a little bit just to talk about some stuff, just mentioning some stuff. So I could go back in history to officially sanction slavery and the creation of the police, which were slave catching patrols in the South, as well as the destruction of the Native Americans. I could examine where I think this nightmare all started. With Christopher Columbus and the conquistadors' reign of terror in the Americas with the blessing of the Vatican. I could talk about the American Declaration of Independence. I'm from America, like I've said in my videos. This is where we should have stayed. Unfortunately, the colonies had just set up a all right. Hold on. This is where we should have stayed, the American Declaration of Independence. Unfortunately, the colonies just had to set up a constitutional limited government, and where's that going? Folks, let me tell you something. No such thing as limited government. Many of the framers felt that humans are inherently evil, so we needed a subset of those evil people to rule over the others. If humans are so flawed, and I'm saying this, if humans are so flawed and evil, then none of us should have any authority and rule and be able to rule over others. Only the Creator is perfect and fit to make laws. We just had to go with that limited government, didn't we? And where are we now? How limited is our government? It's insane. We're slaves, and we're on the way to becoming total slaves. I'm going to start with the creation of the central bank and progressive income tax in America. This is where I'm going to start, where our nightmare really started. That was the creation of the central bank and progressive income tax in America in 1913 and 1914. That's where things really started accelerating into complete. We're out of time, folks. We're out of time, and we're going to complete annihilation of freedoms and our life support systems. We're on our way, and it's not going to be long. Just in case you haven't noticed, I mean, we're coming more and more enslaved. Okay, so President Wilson, the puppet he was the facilitator that was the guy in the public eye. However, Lord House was the man directing Wilson. House was a member of the elite banking cabal like the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Morgans, and Warburgs, to name a few. My parents used to take me to Rockefeller Center in New York City, and we used to look in awe at the stupid tree, barely noticing the statue of Prometheus mocking all of us. It's a joke. Mocking us. Tell you right now, I'd love to go back and spit on that tree. That's what I would love to do. I'd love to spit on that tree, throw a rock at it, light it on fire. I don't know. I don't want to hurt anybody else, but take it out to some open field and light it on fire, or no one can get hurt. I don't know. But anyway, I guess metaphorically, light it on fire. Fuck that tree. Rockefeller was a facilitator of the 1914 Ludlow, Colorado massacre, where striking miners, men, women, and children, families, were burned out of their tents and executed by firing squad as they ran from the flames. Real nice, huh? Real nice. And it was order followers that did the bidding, the Colorado National Guard, mowing down men, women, and children. How about that? You don't think these order followers are going to fire on us, folks? These were men, women, and children, and they would be considered called white people. They were Eastern European, Eastern European like migrants and immigrants and stuff. So they would be called white people, so-called. There's no such thing as white and black. There's only one human species, but. So for all of you who are thinking, oh, they were probably black people or Native Americans or Chinamen, no, they were what would be called white people. And they fired on these people and they slaughtered them. You don't think these order followers are gonna fire on us? Got another thing coming to you. Look up the Bonus Army. Look that up. General Patton and MacArthur, garbage bags they were. The so-called Spanish flu was a result of a Rockefeller vaccine that was administered to soldiers at Fort Riley, Kansas, prior to going to Europe for World War I. 50 million people died from that. Don't believe me. Look it up for yourself, folks. Look this up for yourself. Don't believe anything I say. Please look this up for yourself. Okay? It's very important. These are just some examples of the evil of these banking gangsters. Of course, Rockefeller then decided to get into philanthropy to change his image. Kind of like Bill Gates today. Not kind of like, exactly like. This model was adopted by these Satanists. Yes, these are Satanists, folks. These people, not people that worship a deity called the devil. These people are people who don't care about anyone else but themselves. They don't care who they harm. Don't care who they hurt. Don't care who gets hurt in the way of getting what they want. So it was, adopted by this model was adopted, the philanthropy, adopted by these Satanists and the members of the so-called elite circles. And these elite circles are like the royals, the high priests in the Vatican, Mecca, and Jerusalem. This world is run by people who participate in an ancient religion of human authority. These people have clubs, such as the Freemasons, Knights Templar, the Rosicrucians. Not everyone in these clubs is evil people, by the way, folks. You really got to look into all these clubs, and especially the Freemasons. There's a lot of good things that Freemasons do, but of course, the top of the Freemasons, the very, very top, they're a cult. They have occulted information. They use it against people. But there are also other more sinister clubs, like the Order of the Black Sun, the Ninth Circuit, and the Finders. These people, or the Red Shoe Club, I think it is, or something also. I mean, these people are just satanic pedophiles, child traffickers, child murderers. Real bad. Folks, this is what we protect. Folks, we have to end the belief in government. We have to end the belief in government. Have to. If we don't, we have no chance for freedom and the maintenance of and the saving of our life support systems, or at least salvaging what's left of them. Many of these individuals take positive things from history and reinvent them in evil ways. One example is the Aryans. When someone thinks of an Aryan, they think of the Nazis. People think of, Aryan, dude, that's a skinhead, man. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. All right. The Nazis were fake-ass Aryans. The true Aryans were people of Caucasian descent. This is I'm pretty sure this is all correct. Once again, don't believe me, look it up for yourself. True Aryans were people of Caucasian descent who lived in, I'm pretty sure, Western China, kind of like northern India, eastern Iran. They were a group of enlightened beings who sought peace and prosperity and being at one with the earth. At least is from what I read about them. Read into Madame Helena Blavatsky. Read into her. She talks a lot about the Aryans. The Nazis, following the lead of their banking overlords, got a misspelling here. Adopted and perverted the goodness of the Aryans and turned the idea into a eugenics genocide. Okay? They perverted it. They perverted the whole thing. And that's what a lot of these occultist people who have hidden knowledge, occulted, hidden from the eye, hidden from people, hidden knowledge. And that's what they do with these ancient beneficial cultures. They pervert them. They pervert natural law. They pervert a lot of these teachings. So back to the central bank. Watch the movie Federal Reserve, Not Federal, No Reserve. The central bank and the progressive income tax were the end of any freedom we Americans in the world had left. And then, of course, these wars, World War I and World War II were horses manure. Vietnam was garbage. The wars in the Gulf were baloney. Watch the movie Hidden Wars of Desert Storm. Folks, a true patriot isn't someone who serves in a military or in a war. It's not what a true patriot is. True patriots speak the truth. True patriots speak the truth, and they put it out there, and they put their face out there. They speak it. They don't care what their employers think or what their friends think. That's what a real patriot is, not someone who serves in a military, not an order follower. It's not a patriot. Get out of my face. So the first Gulf War, which is not even a war, it was a slaughter and a genocide. The Gulf War, it was a slaughter, folks. The babies getting thrown out of incubators, blatantly false, folks. Blatantly false. Mainstream media lying away. I'm bringing it to. This is very condensed. There's so much to look into, folks. But I'm just trying to get this in a short enough video to where people get the most information in a short period of time. The babies getting thrown out of incubators, blatantly false. Saddam's army didn't even fully invade Kuwait. The people of Saudi Arabia and the Middle East did not want Americans on their land at all. They don't want us there. I don't blame them. It was all about oil, and most people knew that. But nobody cared. It's all about oil. Okay, continue on. Hey, what are we doing this weekend? Oh boy, we're going on a vacation. Oh boy, we're going to go out in a boat and fill our gas guzzling boat up while the boys over in Iraq fight for our freedom or our oil or whatever. When the Iraqi army was retreating and not fighting anymore, the Allies, mainly America, used the caravans of Iraqi troops fleeing for target practice with their new weapons. They slaughtered them. They were defenseless. If you support this, you're a trash bag. The oil well fires were set by U.S. Special Forces. Do you even have the slightest clue how much pollution those oil fires caused? The pollution is beyond imagination. And U.S. Special Forces, order followers, trash bag, garbage bag, order followers set those oil wells on fire. Trash bag order followers. This is why order followers bear the karmic brunt, man. 22 veterans a day dying. Nobody cares. Let's stop the wars. Let's stop this. Nobody cares. Average age of a police officer, 52 in at least one study I looked at. Another article in a book, 80% of police are suicidal at some certain time. This is the karmic brunt that order followers bear the brunt. And they don't even talk about in the 22 a day suicides. It excludes Texas and California, at least the last study I looked at, and also doesn't. It's only direct suicide deaths, not even counting drug overdoses. So the bombings were not precision, and many civilians were slaughtered. Why do they hate us? They don't hate us for our freedom, folks. We don't have any freedom. It's another thing. The terrorists if the terrorists, the so-called terrorists, hated us for our freedom, then I'm sure they would love us now. They would absolutely love us. Walking around with our masks on like idiots. So, bombings were not precision. Many men, women, and children were slaughtered. Then after the sanctions on an already destroyed country during the Bill Clinton years, resulted in millions of deaths, mainly children, 500,000 Iraqi children. Look up Madeleine Albright. Absolutely worth it, she says. It was worth it. During the war, slaughter, the U.S. bombed, this is the first Gulf War, slaughter. The U.S. bombed not just military targets, they bombed water treatment plants, schools, and hospitals. These are war crimes, folks. These are war crimes. This is immoral. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Then 9/11. I'm just going to say this, because I'm going to do a video on this. Those buildings did not get taken down by airplanes. I'm going to do a video on that. Period, end of story. Those airplanes did not take down those buildings. Period, end of story. It has been confirmed in a study by a university in Alaska, I think it's Alaska Fairbanks, in conjunction with other affiliates, I think like architects for engineers, architects for and engineers, like for 9/11 Truth, I think it is. So it has been confirmed in a study by a university in Alaska in conjunction with other affiliates and peer-reviewed that Building 7 was brought down in a simultaneous structural failure. In other words, controlled demolition. Then the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq was a blatant lie. So too was that Saddam was involved with Al-Qaeda. And then hitherto today, the lies are pouring out about this SARS-2 virus and everything associated with it, folks. When are we going to stop putting our trust in the mainstream garbage trash media? The mainstream media lies horrendously, blatantly. When are we going to be done? When are we going to be done with the mainstream media and stop just wanting to get news fed to us and start looking into things for ourselves and doing our own investigations into things? When? When? I mean, look at all this stuff that's going on now. I don't know if you've heard, they're talking about wanting us to wear goggles now. I mean, these people are just laughing. These people behind all this, all the politicians and all their rulers above them, the dark occultists and all that, the high priests, the royals, these people are laughing their butts off at us, all these people in these Satanist organizations that know what's going on. These people are laughing their butts off at us. They are laughing, just dying laughing at us over drinks, laughing at how stupid you are. All right. Stop being stupid and start getting informed. Start telling people, start getting out there and telling people, hey, don't listen to that mainstream media. Do your own investigating. Bill Hoy. I'm signing out.